Bereshos Moreinu v'Rabbeinu, the Rosh Yeshiva Shlita. Bereshos Rav Rossman, Rav Elson, the Rabbonim, staff, Achron Chaviv, all the beloved Talmidei HaYeshiva. You guys flaring up reminds me of the Rashi regarding Aaron HaKohen. The pasuk says he has to light the menorah until it flares up on its own. We here just have to start one or two nigunim, and you guys flare up on your own. Thank you for making life easier for us. The Svarim bring down the climax of the Avodah of the month of Tishrei. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot. It all comes to its climax, its completion, its shleimus, Chanukah. Chanukah is the Avodah of Tishrei is completed. What could be the connection between the festival of Chanukah and Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot? How does Chanukah reach their shleimus? Chazal instituted a bracha. Sha'asa nisim la'aveiseinu, bayomim hahem bazman hazeh. Chazal call this bracha the birchas haroyah. You see the candles, you see the Chanukah lights, you make this bracha. If a person is not lighting and nobody's lighting for him, and he's walking in the street, as soon as he sees the Chanukah candles, he makes that bracha. It's called the birchas haroyah. It's an interesting name. As we know in Chanukah, it's important to look at the candles, to stare at them, to gaze at them for a long time. What is this supposed to mean to us? The parashas on Chanukah always fall out discussing Yosef HaTzadik. The Gemara that discusses Hilchos Shabbos brings in Yosef HaTzadik. What's Yosef HaTzadik's connection to Chanukah? On Chanukah we have a mitzvah to be mahader, mahadrim and a mahadrin. The word hadar, hadar is beauty. On Chanukah, there's an emphasis on beautifying the mitzvahs. Where does this come from? The answer to all these questions, in short, Chazal tell us, there's a Gemara that says, Ayin royeh, when this eye sees, that triggers off v'halev chomed, the heart desires. When a person sees Hashem created a person, that a person sees something beautiful, it attracts him. His heart is attracted to the beauty. So when a person sees something, his heart is attracted, it desires what it sees. Avodas Hashem, the fundamental of Avodas Hashem is defining what's beautiful. Because whatever's beautiful, whatever you think is beautiful, that's what you're going to get attracted to. If a person sees the physical, external, shallow, superficial beauty as beauty, he's attracted to that, and then he'll fall into the traps of his Yetzer Hara. We said today in the Shir Shel Yom, on the Shir Shel Yom of Monday, we talk about Yerushalayim. David HaMelech talks about Yerushalayim and the Beis HaMikdash as Yefei Noif, Mesois Kol Haaretz. Yerushalayim, the Beis HaMikdash, that's real beauty. Not only seeing Yerushalayim and seeing the Beis HaMikdash beautiful, but Shlomo HaMelech writes in Shir Hashirim, Ma yofu pa'amayich bana'olim, how beautiful were the strides, the steps taken by the Jews walking up to Yerushalayim, walking up to the Beis HaMikdash. Not only is it a beautiful sight to see the Beis HaMikdash, but to see the Jews walking up to the Beis HaMikdash was also beautiful. The Beis HaMikdash and everything about the Beis HaMikdash was just so beautiful. In the Shir Asayom that we recite on a daily basis, the pasuk says, Zeh Keli V'anvehu. This is my God, V'anvehu. What does V'anvehu mean? Rashi brings two interpretations. One is, a nover is an abode. It's a house, a place to live. The other pshat, anveo means beauty. But according to what we're saying, it's all one thing. A house, a sanctuary for the Shechina Kedosha. That's beautiful. There's nothing more beautiful than seeing the Shechina. And somebody that saw the Beis HaMikdash was attracted. Because Hashem created man that when he sees something beautiful, he's attracted to it. If you see something really beautiful, something which is spiritually beautiful, you're attracted to it, and you run after it, and you desire it. And then you desire Kedusha. When a person sinned, he had to bring an offering to the Beis HaMikdash. Why? Why did he sin? What lured him? What led him to sin? The answer is his heart. He must have seen something. He must have watched something. And that triggers off a desire to sin. A person must have seen something, must have seen an external beauty and was attracted to it. How do you rectify that? You have to go to somewhere that's really beautiful. You have to go to the Beis HaMikdash. Yefei noif mesais kol haaretz. And there you bring up a sacrifice. When you're in the Beis HaMikdash and you see what real beauty is, the other beauty just pales into insignificance. And you walk out of the Beis HaMikdash with such a desire to see Kedusha, to see tzaddikim, to see a makam of Kedusha, that you don't sin anymore. Yom Kippur is the Day of Atonement. In Yom Machzorim on Yom Kippur, there's a long poem that when the Kohen Gadol used to come out of the Kodesh Kodashim, out of the Holy of the Holies. So it's famous. There's a famous song on it. Emes ma nedar hoya Kohen Gadol. And line after line after line after line. The poet describes the Kohen Gadol as a bolt of lightning, as a shining star, as the colors of the rainbow, as a rose in a rose garden, etc. He goes on and on. The beauty of the Kohen Gadol coming out of the Kodesh Kodashim, the holiest person coming out of the holiest place, was so beautiful that a person couldn't entertain sin anymore. He couldn't entertain being attracted by anything that didn't look like the Kohen Gadol, walking out of the Holy of the Holies. After Yom Kippur, we have Sukkot. Sukkot, there's a mitzvah of Noi Sukkah, beautifying your Sukkah. Because Tishri is the Yom Tov, is the month of celebrating real beauty. You walk into a sukkah. Once upon a time, when we were young, the sukkahs were simpler than they were today. No flashlights, pictures on the wall of tzaddikim. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. When you walk into a sukkah, it was just so beautiful. When you watch tzaddikim, you watch their actions. There's nothing more beautiful. I once had the schia personally to be in a room alone with the Amshnav Rebbe for a few hours. On Seder night, on his Seder night, I won't tell you what time it is, but on his Seder night, there's people there except for benching. He closes up for 3 hours and he benches. And I sneaked in. I saw one of his nephews going in, and as he was going out, I sneaked in. And he locked the door because he didn't know there was somebody in other than the Rebbe. So it was me and the Rebbe alone. I watched him for 2.5, 3 hours alone. My eyes were just fixed on him. I couldn't get my eyes off him. It was so beautiful. Everything he did, just watching him bench. He was holding a kois for a few hours. Every so often he had to massage his fingers. He put the kois onto the other hand. Just so beautiful watching a tzaddik massaging his fingers. That's real beauty. After that, you can't look at anything else. That's the beauty of Yiddishkeit. Judaism is so beautiful. Somebody was once interviewed, a Baal Tshuva was once interviewed. And they asked him, what made him religious? So he said that he lived next to a very God-fearing religious family. And he says he lived alone with his television. And he said next to him was a family, a father and a mother, and a bunch of children. And he said he used to come to Friday evening. And he was alone, watching whatever he was watching. One eye was fixed, gazed on the window into the salon next door. And he says he saw the mother, the wife, with a white apron and a white tichel, making the bracha on the candlestick, on the candles, beautiful, beautiful, shining silver candlesticks. He said it was so beautiful. The flame, the lights. And she prayed, and her eyes were closed. He said that was so beautiful. The father comes home from shul with his kinderlich. He says how they all took places around the table. And they sang Shalom Aleichem and Eishes Chayil. And the father made Kiddush. And the children were saying over the parasha. And the children were singing with the father together. He said that was so beautiful. He couldn't look at his screen anymore. He said suddenly it dawned on him what's beauty and what's really ugly. He said what's on the television is so ugly. And watching a God-fearing Jewish home on Friday night with those candles and the Divrei Torah and the Zmirus, he said that was so beautiful he couldn't take his eyes off it. And he became religious. Chanukah is where genuine beauty was fighting superficial beauty. Yavon, the Greeks, they're descendants of Yefes. Yefes is Yoifi, is beauty, but it's external beauty. And they were trying to lure us away and trying to attract us to the beauty, to the physical, external beauty of this world. And many Jews, unfortunately, were drawn and attracted and became Hellenists. The Kohanim, the beautiful Kohanim, had to step out. And they had to fight that. And they lit the Chanukah candles. And when you see pure olive oil, and when we saw what went on in the Beis Hamikdash, that was all we had to see. We take the mitzvahs of Chanukah, and we are mahader and mahadrin and min mahadrin. We beautify them. We make them more beautiful and more beautiful. Chanukah is a time when you stare at your candles. Ayin royeh. You're looking at your candles. You're staring at the candles. You're staring at beautiful olive oil, pure oil, pure candles. You're staring at Ner Hashem, Nishmas Adam, the beauty of the inner soul, the Jewish soul. When you're looking at those candles, your mindset should be how beautiful and how pure Judaism is. Torah mitzvahs. There's nothing more beautiful than a Yom Tov table and a Shabbos table, than Jews sitting together, singing shiras v'sishpachos, sharing divrei Torah. There's nothing more beautiful. Yosef HaTzadik was enticed by the wife of Potiphar. Yosef HaTzadik was drawn and attracted to her beauty. And suddenly, what appeared to him? Who did he see? Yaakov. The Gemara says in Bava Metzia, Daf Pei Vav, Pei Zayin, Shufrei de Yaakov, the shine, the radiance of Yaakov was like of Adam Rishon. Adam Rishon's ankles were brighter than the sun. Imagine what his face looked like. And that's what Yaakov Avinu looked. And when Yosef HaTzadik saw Aish's Potiphar next to Yaakov Avinu, who was more beautiful? How can you compare? How can you call that beauty, Bichlal? This is the lesson of Chanukah. This is the lesson of Chanukah. We have to work on ourselves, work on our eyes, what they gaze at, but above all, to define what real beauty is. Some of you guys have had only a few months of exposure to what real Torah mitzvahs is, to what real Shabbos is, to what a real Chanukah is, to what a real Sukkot is, to what a real Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur is. Many of you guys told me that you never had such a beautiful experience as Yom Kippur. How can there be anything more beautiful? Watching Jews clad in white, looking so pure, and praying to Hashem. These last few months have actually shown you the beauty of Judaism. And this is what we're here to show you. This is what you guys have to focus on for this year. That is the Chanukah being the climax of Tishrei. After seeing the Kohen Gadol, after decorating your sukkah with the Noi sukkah, comes to Chanukah where we stare at the beautiful candles with the Mahadrin and the Mahadrin Mina Mahadrin. Hashem should help us all that we should be Zocher Metz Hashem speedily in our days to see and to witness the coming of Mashiach and to see Yerushalayim and the Beis Hamikdash turning into the Yefei Noif, Mesais Kol Haaretz. And on a personal note, I've only been here for a few months. People ask me, do you realize you've just been here for a few months? I feel like I've been here for a lot longer. This is a very special and unique yeshiva and unique institution. And I feel very, very humbled and privileged to be part of it. And I thank everybody for making this possible. And I've seen firsthand such Mesiras Nefesh from the staff. Rossman abandons his post when the fever rises to 104 and a half. Until then, he's full-time and he's back already after a few days. The Mesiras Nefesh of Rav Ilsov, the Rosh Hashiva Shlita, of everybody over here. You're in the world's greatest Torah institution, an institution that's Megadol Abayis, Shemegadlim Boy Torah, Tefillah, Kedusha, Kiruv. And we should be Zocher Metz Hashem, Shemikan Teitzei Torah Dvar Hashem Yerushalayim, B'mehera v'yameinu, Amen v'amen. A Freilich and Chanukah.